Hi there, this is Kathy Crow. It is nice to see you. Thank you for joining me here at the Crow Cottage in Springfield, Missouri for a couple of hours today. It is nice looking outside, but very cold. Can't believe how cold it is out there. We are going to do horse and sleigh. So this seems like very appropriate for the day today because although there are some little snowflakes, but those actually could even be leaves. And the paper that goes with this is really good. It's horse and sleigh paper. But I've also used this a ton with our autumn leaves paper. Now I know that that has been in and out, but just keep trying because, you know, it's going to be in at some point and it's really, really nice paper. So I'll show it to you. I've already shown it to you, I'm sure, but today we are going to do a special card, a center step card. This is like one of my favorite kind of little fun folds because it's super easy to make. But it's hard to write the directions for it. You kind of have to see it made, I think, is what I'm going to say. I know I've done, I did a tutorial, a written one for this card, actually even I think this size. I wanted to make a really big one a couple of years ago, maybe 4 years ago even, for the caroling mice. I don't know, it was a pretty big stamp set. So I wanted a really big card. So so I already had made this card, and so I did it with our Night Divine set. I really like this card. It turned out really nice. And this would be one that you would get in the Fun Folds class if you do a Fun Folds class with me. My Fun Folds class are really fun folds. They're not so hard that it's, you know, a beginner could do it, is what I'm saying. Some fun folds are really complicated and you kind of have to have some paper experience just to fold it, even if it's already creased, right? Haven't you done cards like that where it's like, I can't believe that is so hard. But this one is like a super simple one. So I've got a nice little belly band on it. This is not the card that I'm going to make today, but I'm going to make one that's similar. This one I wanted to have lots of room to write. So you've got, you know, room for your sentiment on there and all that room. That's why I wanted a big one. And then it has the easel, so it sits nice up on your desk and it folds out really, really pretty nicely right there. Let me see, is it doing it? Yeah, it is. It's doing it. So you can get your little, you know, your little nativity scene in there. It's pretty cool. I love this set, this Night of Bethlehem set. I don't even know what the dies are called. I forget. This glitter ribbon, this Night of Navy glitter ribbon is really pretty. It is probably on back order right now, and that's one reason you want to join our team. Join Stampin' Up! Because you've got 2 more days. 2 more days to do that. You can get $68 for $68 or something like that. You get $125 worth of product. Is that right? Or $99? I don't know. The better deal is spend the $99 and get like $168 worth of product. I don't even know what it is. All I know is that tomorrow at the end of Halloween, it is going to be gone and you will have to wait. And one of the reasons you want to join is then you get discounts. You also get to buy stuff early, which is so nice because then I don't have to worry about not having my Night of Navy ribbon. I've already got a whole bunch because I knew that would go pretty fast. All right, I hope it is warmer where you are. But one of the nice things about having cold weather is that it is going to send the little bulbs that I planted out there. Yes, I broke down and bought some bulbs. I kept saying I am not buying any bulbs for this house because we have a lot of squirrels around because, of course, all the trees, right? But they are pretty much in the backyard. I don't see a lot of squirrel activity in the front because I have one teeny tree that we planted, but most of us and all of my neighbors, we don't have trees in our front yards too much. So the squirrels kind of stay in the backyard mostly. So I'm hoping my bulbs can survive. I put them in pots, so it's not like too much of a commitment because I already figured that they might rot if I put them in the ground. It's pretty wet here. All right, I am going to get going and I will keep jammering on and on and on. You know me, and I do like to talk, right? I'm not a big talker normally, but when I'm doing this, it's more, I don't know, is it comforting? I hope so. The reason I talk and talk and talk isn't just because I've got a lot to say. It's mostly because I don't want you to feel like you're sort of out in limbo land here. I'm hoping that I've got everything in I could shove this more that way maybe. And let's try to bring the camera this way a bit more. All right, I think this is as good as I can get it. Now, I am going to take just a second here while you're looking at my supplies. I'm taking a minute just to get myself over here on Facebook land so that I can see if I'm even on. Like, I don't even know if I'm really on, but yes, I do see me there. And now I can see comments. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for liking. Any comment, just say hi. And then that will indicate to Facebook that I'm not here all by myself, because I know I'm not. People watch these things. They watch it on YouTube. They watch. And yet, you wouldn't know it because nobody comments. So please make a comment, and then Facebook will know I'm not all by myself. All right, I think I've got it set up as good as it's going to go. Last week I noticed as I was working on the thing, even though my board was like this, I was working like this because that's, of course, how my desk is. So anyway, I keep messing with my phone thinking I can get a better way of lowering it and raising it, and it never seems to function well. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to give you the dimensions for this center step. I am not writing it down. I'm going to tell it to you. If you want them written down, you're going to have to message me. So just say, please send me the center step directions. And then I will send you a link to the caroling mice one. So it's not this card, but it's the same, but it is the center step fold with these large dimensions. These are super big. I've modified them, and I cannot find my dimensions on any website. So this is, if you go and look at somebody else's center step and think you can just transfer their instructions to this card, it won't work because they're not going to be as big as this one. I haven't found one as big as this one. That's why I kind of had to make my own. You can do it. You know, you can even make your own. It's not that hard. But if you want the dimensions already done for you, then you can just message me and say, please send me the center step instructions, and then you have to include your email, and then I can send it to you. Include your email so I can do that. All right, and if you're messaging me on Facebook, if you go to my website, you can message me there, and that's where I'll need your email. But if you're just messaging me on Facebook, you can message me, and I will message you back on Facebook, so I don't need your email there. Well, all right, so I've written it out here. Early espresso. This is the color that I used on that, and that is the color I'm going to use on my card today too. And I'm cut in half, a 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored on one bottom, scored 1 inch on the bottom of one of these, and then I glued it together. Okay, so that's all this is. This is 2. That is not correct. I'm looking at it and I can see that is not 8.5 by 5.5. So I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote those instructions, but that is not at all what this is. I don't believe it. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to look and see. This looks like 6 inches to me. All right, so this is 5.5. It is indeed 5.5. Cut 1, 5.5. by 7 3/4. Yes, this is my instructions. Now, remember it is. Okay, 5.5 by 7 3/4, and then you are going to score the long side at 1 inch. And then you're going to cut another piece of early espresso, 6 3/4 by 5.5. And then you're just going to glue that together so that this is a big card that's opening and shutting. So you have, not only do you have your center step card, you have a space now to write on, and you're going to be able to flip it back, and it's just going to be easier for people to have your card to write in, plus have it as an easel, because this easel is going to stand up quite nicely. It doesn't have, most of these center step cards come like this, and then this is what you get. But I like to have the opening that opens up, and so you've got room for your sentiments, but you've also got room for writing, and they can set it up and display it. All right, so that's the cover. This little belly band looks to me, I'm going to use my measurement here. It looks to me to be about 1 inch wide, and that's probably just 2 11-inch long pieces, you know, that I used for the belly band. All right, now for this one, you're going to cut a piece of early espresso 5.5 by 8.5. That doesn't look like 8.5. And it's not. You know, why am I giving you bad directions? And another 5.5 by 5. I don't know. That is really weird. We're going to just like totally remove these dimensions because they're not accurate. What's the deal? It's by 12. Oh, that's what the deal is, you see. So you can't, unless you have 12 by 12 early espresso, which I didn't happen to have at the moment. That's what these are for. Because I ended up having to do a seam and piece this together. All right, so if you have a 12-inch piece of early espresso, just make it easy on yourself and cut it 5.5 by 12, and then all the other things are done. You're gonna do the scoring and all. If you don't have a by 12, like I didn't when I tried to make this, I ended up having to do this. So we did 5.5 by 5 inches. Cut one of those, okay? And then you're also going to cut a 5.5 by 8.5, and that's where this seam is, okay? 8.5. And then we're not scoring the 5.5 by 5 inch piece. You're just going to set that aside. And then we are just going to score and cut the 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece. So your total will be 12 inches this way by 5.5 after you've glued it together. But we're not gluing it together yet. Now you're going to score on the side. You're going to score on this 8.5 inch piece. You're going to score 1 inch in, and you're only going to score 1 inch in this way also. So it's going to lay on your board like, here, let me get my other piece. Let me get my other piece that we're probably working on here. Let me see if I've got it done. Oh, I've already done it. So that's not going to be helpful to you, will it? Yeah, let me look at it anyway. No, I don't dare, because it's going to take away my layers. So you're going to score it at 1 inch in and 1 inch in here. And then you're going to move out again, and you're going to score at this. Yeah, let me look here. This is 8.5, all right? Let me double check here. 8.5. Okay. And then you're going to score at, pull it on the inside so I can see. Okay, you're going to score it at, you're going to score it actually at 1.5 inches, and you're scoring in 1 inch. That's what I thought. Okay, so this first score line, you're going to score in on both sides. You're scoring just 1 inch in, but you're moving in 1.5 inches up from the left side. Then you're going to move up to the 2.5 inch mark, and then you're going to score just the center bit, and that center bit is 3.5 inches long. Okay, then you're going to move along again. You're going to score at 6.5 inches again right here, just for 1 inch in. And then you're going to go to the 7.5 inch line and score 1 inch again in. Okay, so you're not scoring in all the way on any of these. The only one you're scoring in the middle is this center step stage top piece. So that's the only line that's getting scored in the middle of the card. All these other ones are just an inch in this way and an inch in this way on all of these. And that's going to give you this platform that's going to stand up. So after you have scored in those lines, then what you do is you turn your card this way. Okay, you've had it this way and you've scored all these pieces. Now you're going to turn it this way in your cutting board, and you're going to cut from that top score line all the way down to the bottom score line. You're going to cut a line there and a line there. And if you've scored in 1 inch, you're going to be able to see exactly how it's going. And you're going to cut that. Then once you've cut it, you'll glue these pieces together, and it's going to glue right up against your folds there. And it's going to stand up quite nicely like this. Okay, I am not cutting all of it. It just takes too long. I don't need to, because I believe I've already done a video for this too. I think I did a video for that, the mouse one, what was it? Caroling mice. Yeah, I did a video for that, I'm quite sure. And so on the tutorial, if you message me and ask for it, then you're going to get a link to that video too. I couldn't find it. I looked on YouTube. I know it's there somewhere, but I did not take the time to find it. Now, I cut a piece. Oh, let me show you this paper. I don't have a ton of it left because it's pretty nice, and I've got all my Santas used up because I'm doing this in our little Christmas card class that's coming up in a week. So I have almost no Santas left. That's all that's left. There's pretty little goodies for Santa. There's a sheet that's like that. There's the mailbox sheet that's so cute. All the little letters and all the little old-fashioned mailboxes are so nice. It's a very old-fashioned Christmas kind of paper, which I like. The sheet that we're using here is the old-fashioned Christmas scene in a house with a fireplace and the Christmas tree. And it's in Cherry Cobbler. So Cherry Cobbler is the color that we're going to be using today mostly. And then there's a holly leaves. And on the back, this is a really nice background. I like that one. Some of the other ones are more mossy meadowish. There is a nice copper clay one too that's so pretty. Very, again, ornate, old-fashioned. There's a stockings page, which I have not used yet, and there's your mossy meadow. And on the back, you can see all of this is like a Florentine, maybe, sort of design. It's very pretty. So you'll be able to use this at other seasons too. If you don't use it all up for Christmas, then you'll be able to use it other times too. So I cut for this card. Okay, let me see what I've got going here. We are using, I've got my autumn leaves paper is what we're using. Isn't that what this is? I better look and see because I'm not really sure. Got Holly Jolly Wishes, that's what we're going to use. Horse and Sleigh is the stamp set. It's called One Horse Open Sleigh. And there's a Halloween kind of looking sheet I like. I don't have a lot of this left either, do I? My goodness. There's the autumn one, what's left of it. I'm going to use this one with the sleigh. That's really pretty with the cabin and it's smoke going up from the chimney. It's got some little autumn leaves still in there. Very nice. Anyway, on the back, these have really nice backs too. But I really like this one with the little deer. Isn't he cute? He's got his little ears up. He looks so surprised to see you. And there you are. You're going to be in your little sleigh coming along. And that's what we're going to put on the inside of the easel. This has a nice hill, and I did a card with the hill, with the sleigh going up the hill. You could have it going down the hill, and it would be a lot scarier. This would be is perfect for Halloween. I did a Halloween one like this, and And I still got 2 sheets, so I could even get out another Halloween card because tomorrow is Halloween. I haven't used this yet, but I love this little red fox. He's so cute. He's looking up here, and I want to put the owl, I think, up in here. We've got an owl set that I really like, and I want to use the owl with that. And more scraps because I've been busy with this. I only have a few sheets of that. Wow, I have used all of the autumn. It was that sunrise back there. I loved it. It was so pretty. I think I used it all up. Here's the other one that is probably my second favorite other than, oh, and I forgot this one. I haven't gotten to this either. This is so artsy that I don't want to ruin it. It's too cute. I think I'm going to do a bag with this. Wouldn't this be a nice little bag? I think this would be a good bag. Give me a thumbs up if you think that would be a good bag, because it would. It would, believe me. It's got stripes on the inside, so you want to make sure you're getting it the right direction. This one is so good. This has got to be a bag too. I don't want to cut these up. They're too pretty. So I haven't used, I think I used one of those. I couldn't bear to use any more than that. There's a tiny bit more of it. Not a lot. It has like the sunrise is shimmering almost in the snow. You know, as cold as it is outside, this is less fond to me today. When I was working with this in the summer, it was, well, what probably wasn't even summer. It was probably August, but it felt like summer. That is summer, right? August? Was it the end of August or was it September? It could have been September, but it was warm and nice here. So thinking about snow and all was not a problem then. All right, I'm going to do 2 cards. The second card's going to be just a simple one, and I'm using that paper I just showed you, which is the horse and sleigh paper. Goes with this horse and sleigh. I've already stamped, colored, and cut it out. And the little bunny that goes with it. We're going to put it on a copper clay piece if I have time to get to it. We'll see. I'm going to throw it down there for now. This is a piece of what? I assume it's 8.5, yes, by 5.5 cherry cobbler, because I think that's all I'll need. I won't need a lot of it. And then I cut this, I don't think, for the card, but we'll see. I might have. And then we're going to use that. I've also got a piece of, and this I've already stamped, obviously, colored it. This I colored with a real red, but I might use my blending pen and kind of put some cherry cobbler into it so that it matches my color a little bit better. I was expecting to use real red with this stamp that I did earlier when I just made all these up a bunch, you know. And we're doing cherry cobbler. This is a wood grain. Now you get a wood grain with the autumn leaves paper. Let me find it. I have almost none of it left. Oh no, I have a whole new pack. Yay, I bought a new pack. Excellent. All right, so I have a whole new pack. I was gonna do an autumn leaves card club, you know, a class. And then I canceled it and took it off my website because couldn't get the paper, and now it's probably back, but it's kind of too late for autumn now. We're back. We're into Christmas now. Once Halloween is past, there's not going to be time to get the supplies and all that. So that's okay. I wanted an extra stash of this autumn paper. So there is wood grain. The wood grain I'm using is actually from an old DSP set we had a long time ago. I collect wood grain. Anytime we have wood grain, I collect it and hoard it like a fiend. But this Autumn Leaves has just fabulous paper. There's a bunch of books, old antique looking leather bound books. You can just smell the smell of an old library when you look at that paper. And then this is a very sunny autumn day, just like it is outside right now. And the sweater would feel really nice right now too. There's a leather bag. There are all the pumpkins. There's those books. Yeah. Leaves. Oh, anyway, it's beautiful paper. And on the back, they're all gilded. All of them are gilded in different colors. So you want this paper for sure. And that's what's going to be on the other card. No, actually, why did I even show that to you? Because I'm not even using it today. That was just an extra little sneak peek at the autumn paper. It's not a sneak peek. It's actual available if you just go on and look for it. Autumn leaves. Okay, on to the card. All right, so now I better stand up because I'm going to be all crooked. I'm also going to use our deckled circles today. Now you get these two giant ones, and I saw somebody had done a rocker card with these. Pretty tough to do a rocker card with decal. I don't know how they did that. But anyway, you can cut out the part that goes on the rocker card, but you'd have to do a smooth circle, so I'm not sure how they did that. All right, so now that I've assembled my easel card, I want to take my, well, let's do the cover first, just to keep things simple, okay? Here's the cover. We're going to put this here. I did already cut it. You know, I'm not even going to do a mat on it. I don't think I need to do a mat on it. We're going to glue that on there. Because this is mostly early espresso. I don't think I want to add any cherry cobbler to it, so we're just going to do it. We're just going to glue that on there as is, and then we're going to decorate it. Now, do I want a ribbon on here? Before I do that, I got to decide if I'm going to do a ribbon. I think what I'm going to do before I even stick that on is decide what sentiment I am going to do. Because I want something big. So we've got Merry Christmas to You from this Holly Jolly Wishes. And I'm going to stamp that and cut it out. And then we are going to decide if I need a ribbon on this card or not. You know, the center step has enough layers inside of it that it really might be nice to have, let's use that little scrap of a piece there. It might be nice to have, and I think we're going to use early espresso, not cherry cobbler. Let's use early espresso. Now let's use cherry cobbler. Maybe I'll do both and see which one is going to look best. You know, did I tell you that I thought our garage door wasn't working? When I go out to ride my bike, I used to take my key and all that stuff. I thought, why am I doing this? I'll just use the pin pad on our garage door. Well, it wasn't working a lot, and I kind of quit doing it. And then I decided, no, I don't want to hide my key outside. So I am going to get this garage. It must be the battery. So I replaced the batteries. Ooh, that's pretty moist. Let's see what happens here. Let's do it. I want to make sure we have plenty of room. Ooh, that's pretty moist. Let's try that again. Why is that so dark? Wow. Let's try you over here and see what happens. That's more the color I want. I must have inked that up way too much. Okay, I'm doing it again. And this time we're going to do it down here. So I'm going to just do another one there. And then we're going to do another one there. And that's more what I want. That's interesting. I must have inked it up and just put way too much ink in it. That's the one bad thing about re-inking your pads. Because, you know, you want them to be inked up and nice and ready to go. But on the other hand, Stampin' Up! Inks them up usually perfectly, the perfect amount. And then when I try to re-ink it, it's like, that's like so dark. My goodness. So I changed the batteries. That worked for a while, and then it wasn't working again. And I thought, what's the deal? Well, I finally figured it out. I am so clueless sometimes that if they're on the garage door pad, there's one button, and there's an upside and a downside. Downside, upside, downside. And it's one button. So I just figured it would know. If the garage door is down, you just push the button and it knows to go up. If it's up, you just push the button and it knows to, you know, right? It's one button, not two buttons, one button. Well, I was wrong. It's one button, but there's a left side and a right side, and it took me a long time to figure that out. It's just really ridiculous. But so I do not need, I've replaced batteries probably several times in there that I did not really need to replace any batteries because it wasn't, the battery wasn't the issue. It was this brain, this feeble old brain that was not functioning well. Anyway, the garage door works great, and I don't have to keep putting batteries in it all the time, and I don't have to have a key hidden out on the property while I am riding my bike. Not that I'm going to be riding the bike anytime soon, because it is so cold out there. All right, so I want a really nice big decal die. Let's look at that. That's nice. That's big. That's what I want my cherry cobbler for, because I am going to layer this with one more cherry cobbler, I think. Okay, so let's do that. Let's cut this out. Now, one thing you're going to find when you are using your plates is that when you ink up something that's very vivid and sometimes juicy, like cherry cobbler, you will leave some of the ink on your plate. So if you do, make sure you clean that off. Oh, look what I did. I had it the other way. You can see all the cherry cobbler that's been down there. Let's try that again. I had it the wrong way. Okay. One more time. Now you're not surprised at all about the garage door, are you? All right, look at that. So cute. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. You see all those lines of cherry cobbler that I've been cutting apparently out? I should clean my plate once in a while. Now, this is going to look like this. I think it's going to look good with a cherry cobbler. Maybe it would look good with a, I think I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a cherry cobbler one, and then I'm also going to do early espresso, because the early espresso matte under it might actually look better. Now, usually I do a stitched circle matte because I don't want, and I am going to do it. I'll do the decal one, but I usually do a stitched circle matte just because this is going to be, these layering dies a lot of times, they're just a little too big, a little bigger than I want underneath as a matte. Okay, so we'll do the cherry cobbler, and then we'll look at it, and we'll decide if we're gonna keep that or not. Now, if you want a lot of things, because you do not have enough things, again, you just need to join Stampin' Up, and then you can buy this stuff for a lot cheaper. There's no obligation. You don't have to stay in. If you don't want to, you do not have to. Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna like that. We don't need the early espresso. I think I'm gonna like it just that way. And again, you've got 2 more days. I'm gonna keep saying it just because this is one of the best deals we've had for a while. If you have already joined me, make sure you join again. If you have joined me before and you dropped, you know how I did not harangue you and harass you to stay in, right? Because you don't have to. That's the deal. This is Stampin' Up's way of introducing you to their wonderful world of Stampin' Up. And it's nice. So you don't have to feel obligated to stay in if you don't want to. All right, so we're going to put that away. And now I can decide, do I want a ribbon on this? You know, do I have a really nice early espresso ribbon? I'm going to peek over here. I bet you I do. I think I do. I see something quite nice. This is actually organza, But I bet there's some other ribbon out there that's quite nice too. Let's look at this though and see what I think. Not bad. There's also some dark edged ones. That's actually my darkest. Oh no, I see one. There it is. I don't have a ton of that one though. I have a faux suede one that's an early espresso, but I think this is gonna have to do. Okay, you could do red too, cherry cobbler. All right, we're gonna just. So this, I cut this one 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And then we're going to just glue this on here. Isn't that pretty on this side too? I like how they did the big giant Florentine with the teeny tiny pinpoint. Not really it's not a fleur-de-lis. I don't know what that design is, but it's pretty. All right. Very cute. When I got home from our vacation, we had such a nice time. If you've ever been to Calico Ghost Town, is it Calico City or is it just Calico Ghost Town? Calico Ghost Town, so cute in California. I know that I had that on a list, but Jeff said he never heard of it. Which is so funny because I've had it on a list for us to visit many times, but we were never really anywhere near there. But we were going right by it because we'd gone to the Grand Canyon. So since we were going to go right by it, we went in, and it is really cute. Now take your ribbon. Oh yeah, I glued it like a dope when I knew I wanted to get this ribbon on there before I did that. Too late, it's glued on there good. You know, you can take a heat gun and try to loosen it up, but that is not going to be worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and choke down the pride and just tie it on here. What a ding dong. Because I've got a belly band. I thought we were doing a belly band. Yeah, we are. We're doing a belly band. Maybe I'll just do it on here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We'll do our belly band here. Okay, and then I'm going to tie my ribbon to that. And then we'll put this on here. Okay, so that's being done. Let's put some tape on here so that my ribbon's not going to be sliding around quite so much as it otherwise will. Did you start? There you go. I think I got it stuck on the, it'll come now. I think it's stuck on my, right on there. There we go. Wow. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, how do you like my nails for today? I've got my Halloween colors going today. It's kind of a dark blue glitter. I'm sure it was like for the 4th of July, actually. All right, so now we're going to tie the ribbon and try to figure out. I kind of need it to be on the side, so I better do it on that side, like that. Okay. Okay, you can do it. All right, there we go. Very good. That actually turned out pretty well all on its own. And then we can, let's do another tiny, tiny let's do tape because I don't want glue. It'll be way too messy. And I can just put a little piece of tear and tape down here and kind of hold that on a little bit better than if nothing was there. There we go. So I found out at the Grand Canyon that I am pretty susceptible to high altitude issues. So I'm not going to be going anywhere with high altitudes apparently much anymore. Those high altitude days are over. Okay, so now I can do that and put my little dimensionals right on there. Very cute. And there you are. I've got my black ones. I'm going to use my black ones because I don't use them all that often. I should have done a Halloween card today. Since it is Halloween tomorrow. That would have been smart, but I already had this ready to go. I thought I was going to do this design last week, but I was so excited about those ornaments. They turned out so cute. I could not resist. I had to make, man, I made, I don't know how many. I didn't even count them. I just cards after card, card, ornament after ornament. It took a lot of work, but it was worth it. They were really fun to do. Okay, there we go, right? Like that. All right, so now we've got our little belly band done. This is going to be on the front like that. It's going to slide pretty easy on and off. Okay, and now we can do our center step fold. Okay, now the center ends up being, what did I tell you? It ends up being 3.5 inches. And I'm gonna cut this paper. I'm gonna leave it right here at the, oh no, we want it to be up here. So that's why I have this here. We're gonna put this on the bottom. So I'll do that at the end. And we're gonna leave it at 6 inches. I don't think I'm going to cut that at all. I do want a tiny bit of a border, but not much. So let's go ahead and cut this at, we'll cut it at 3 1/3. And I want that center where the little deer is. Okay, so 3, no, this way. 3 1/3. All right, let's first of all decide 3 1/3. Boy, that's not giving me all of the trees. Most of it though. So we're going to start on this side here. Okay, and set that aside. Not save these because these are going to go on the side. And then we're going to go 3 1/3. Or no, 2/3. 3 2/3. Let's see how much of a border that gives me. Hardly anything. I don't want much though, so I think that's going to work out just right. This is going to go on top of this piece. No, this piece has to go on top of this piece. So I can go ahead and glue that on. Oh, I hope that's enough for the side. Is it? It is, barely. Good. I can even think to check that. Anyway, when we got home, thankfully, our fall leaves were not gone. I was hoping the whole trip because we saw the most beautiful fall foliage. I'd seen pictures of Arizona in the fall, in Nevada too. Nevada, mostly Arizona though, but Nevada, parts of Nevada also. In the fall is beautiful because the sage is different than the sage bushes. Not sagebrush bushes in the Tri-Cities because they're more golden and beautiful. I mean, golden. It was really amazing. got a lot of really good pictures, and I kept thinking, oh man, I hope the trees as we get going closer to home have not lost all of their fall color. And I was so relieved when we came home and they had not lost their fall color, so we still could see it. So you want this to be like right there. We're going to cut off the bottom, although I don't hardly need to, because we're going to have this piece going on top. Gotta give it some continuity for our sleigh to be on. Let me have a little peek at it though. Maybe I want it on top. What do you think? No, I want that on top. All right, so since that doesn't matter, I'm going to keep this width. This is a perfect width, and we're going to cut that the same width, and that is 1 inch. And I want this side, although this side would be fine too. So that tree's pretty fat though. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick with the picture as it is. You know, when you do triptychs and things like that, you want to keep the picture just as it is. So we'll just do that. 1 inch. And then I've got this teeny tiny scrap at the side that I'll never use. I'm going to probably hang on to it and never actually use it. But so I had to go on a bike ride because, you know, I knew the weather was probably going to get cold, which it has. And I'm so glad I went out when I did, because we had like the most beautiful, I'm going to do it this way and then just trim this top off. No, I don't want to trim it. How am I going to do that? I want that trimmed off. Yeah, I kind of do. All right, well, I'm going to glue it on here like this. The problem is this one has to go there. I don't really want any folding happening. So, since that's the case, it's not really going to matter. This is going to just butt up against the bottom. It can't go up here. It has to be on this back arm. So, we are going to cut off about 1/4 inch, it looks like. Yeah, a little bit more than that. Just about 1/4 inch. Okay, so we will start with a 1/16 over that 1/4 inch. And this one too, just a 1/16 over the 1/4 inch. And then let's see how that's going to go. Oh yes, very good. And then I can get that right in there the way I want it on the little center step arm. And so when I went riding my bike, oh man, I just loved being back here in Missouri. Could smell the leaves, the damp leaves on the ground. Smell usually really good. We had tons of rain the last few days, so down on the back path right now it might be really wet and it might not smell quite as good, but it probably does. It probably does. The leaves smelled really good when I was down there riding. Okay, isn't that cute? I love that. And then this one's going over here. I think, did I get the wrong one on there? Probably I did. I did. This one goes over there, but oh well. It's not going to matter. It is not going to matter. It's pretty funny that I did that. After all that meticulous care. Maybe I should see if I can pull it up. I doubt that I can. No. Once you've kind of pushed it down, you're sort of stuck with what you got. All right, very good. Very good. Okay, now we've got that, and then I want this piece, but I'm going to make it smaller. I've embossed it with our pine wood planks, which was not available anymore, but it gave me that heartwood pine kind of embossing. And again, this is the old DSP that was called wood grain DSP from years ago. But we always have wood grain, so there's always going to be one. We want a 1 inch. And again, we've got 5.5. I believe this is 5.5. Let's just double check. Yeah, 5.5. So we'll cut this 5.5. And then I just need 1 inch. I'm going to do just a tiny bit more than 1 inch. And then that's going to be my little track for the sleigh to ride on. Just kind of a nice little decorative bottom. Now you could put a sentiment there. I think a lot of times people do a sentiment. Do I want the darker one or the lighter one? We'll go with the lighter one. There were pearl bushes that were blooming really pretty. I didn't notice those last year. Little white pearls on the bushes. Really pretty. And then, of course, those Osage oranges have all come out and dropped their big, fat, green. I mean, some of them are bigger than a softball. They're amazing. They smell so good. There's this orangey scent down there because of the Osage oranges. Okay. I did say I was going to just use a tiny bit of cherry cobbler, didn't I? So let's see if I can find our cherry cobbler pen in here. I should have got it out, but there it is. Thankfully, I could find it pretty easy. Oh, not that end. Let's try this end. I'm going to just add a little bit of that in here. We'll do that on her hat. And a little bit on his reins. Okay, and then this is the light cherry cobbler. And we'll just blend that in a bit. Like that, like that. Nice squeak, isn't it? All right. And then to blend that out a little bit, because it's kind of a little too stark, I'm going to grab my real red again. Actually, yeah, I'll do my light real red. And we'll see if we can lighten that up just a little bit in the center. Just smooth those edges a bit. You're not cooperating all that much. There we go. My pen must be drying up. I better get another real red. Perfect. Now we can stick our... Now see how the die cuts this out really nicely? But I have foolishly smeared my red just a little bit right there. So I'm going to go through and just grab out that little bit of red I smeared. Other than that, I think we're good. And then you can put your sentiment on, I mean your sleigh on here. And I've got my Merry Christmas on the front. I'm going to have a way of writing on the inside. If you wanted to say anything, you've got all these nice wishing you a season of cheer and a happy new year, or sending warmth your way wouldn't be bad to have that. There's this little word joyful, which I kind of like. So I'm going to just take that little word. Oh, I've got a bunny. Let's use the bunny. Might as well. And this little tiny word joyful, where are you? There you are, right there. We're going to do that with cherry cobbler. Actually, do I want cherry cobbler? Since it's so dark, I think I'm going to go with my real red so that it actually does look red instead of brown. We're going to put that right there. Isn't that cute? And then that's going to be pretty much it. We're going to assemble it, and then this one is done. We're going to go on to another one and get that one done lickety-split. And what did I do with my, oh, there it is, my cleaning thing. If they say that time is money, right? So if time is money, how much is your day worth? I don't know if I believe all these little things they say, time is money. I don't know that that's true. All right, so we're going to put our dies on these guys right here. Okay, and then it's going to stand up nicely like that. I could put dies to this whole center thing. You just don't want to attach it to the arms at all. Okay, so I've got some big ones. Maybe I'll use the, no, I don't want to use those. Let's see, what do I want to do here? I can do one here on his flank. And one here, like that. Okay, and then the rest are going to have to be mini dimensionals on the horse's little legs and his feet. My day would be worth a lot to me, but probably not enough to pay me anything much. We don't make cards for getting money rich, that's for sure. We do it for the joy of making cards. They're pretty fun. All right, I think I just need these little teeny tiny pieces. I've got a little piece right there that I've, you know, snipped on some previous project, and another little one right there. It's one of those little mini, half of a hexagon. Those mini dimensionals come in really handy for that sort of a thing. I get this fun little trivia thing in my mail, and one of my trivial questions was, what is a funambulist? Do you know what a funambulist is? Like, I don't know what a funambulist is. So, of course, they send you these questions, so you have to click on it to find out what the answer is. Do you know what a funambulist is? Have you ever heard of that? All right, make sure your dimensionals are sticking on that centerpiece. Okay, and then if you want to have your little bunny jumping out of the way, he is pretty cute. I'll put a little white one there on his backside. Maybe he'll be racing along with the sleigh. All right, very cute. And then this goes on the inside of this card. Isn't that nice and large? Now, remember, you don't have to worry about writing on that. That's going to fit in here quite nicely. And then you're going to cut a white piece of cardstock and glue it on there. You can stamp it, and then you'll have a huge writing space. We're just going to put glue all on the back of this and stick it right in there. Do you know what a funambulist is? A tightrope walker. Yeah, not a word you're probably going to be using a lot of. Okay, we're going to put that right there. Now, my outer card's quite large, so I have plenty of room for everything to fit in there. I could have made it a little shorter, but it's kind of nice to have plenty of space. So once this is glued on here properly, it is going to sit up there quite nicely, right? And then you just shut it and slide on your little belly band, and you are good to go. This is a big one. This is going to go in one of those big giant envelopes and be a quite nice Christmas card to send to someone. Merry Christmas to you. Cute. I love that. It's a really nice little fun fold, very fun and easy to do. Fun, 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 fun. All right, now last thing we're going to make. I throw away my scraps. I've got a piece of that cardstock that's copper clay. We're going to do just a simple card for this one. And then I colored this sleigh already with Tranquil Tide, I believe. So let's just do a basic card. We're going to want it to be a bit bigger because I want to use as much of this picture as I possibly can. So I think we're going to want to do this at 4.5 inches. That'll give me, then we're going to need to make the card 4 3/4, and then we're going to do it by 6 1/4, okay? All right, so let's do a piece of Tranquil Tide. Like that. I think this is Tranquil Tide. Okay, we're going to do a piece of Tranquil. Maybe I'll do, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't want Tranquil Tide on my copper clay. I'm going to do my copper clay as the base instead of Tranquil Tide, I think. No, I like Tranquil Tide. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut this picture out with the dimensions that I want. Okay, if we just cut, let's start by just cutting some of the edges off. All right, just some. We're going to want to end up at 4 1/2. Just cutting quite a bit off. So we're going to go way over here. And then 4 1/2. Oh, I hate cutting all of that off, but I'm going to have to. Because I don't want this card to be any bigger than 4 3/4 wide. All right, 4 3/4, and then we're going to leave it at 6 inches, which is what this dimension is. This is going to go on top of some Tranquil Tide. So we're going to want to cut, oh, I forgot. This is not, I don't want to leave this at 6 inches. Let's see how much room I need. I need most of this bottom part off. I can take some of it off, but because of the perspective, you don't want this sleigh to be too close. So we don't need a lot of that off. All right, let's start out at 6 inches then. And I believe we did 4 1/2, right? Yes, so I'm going to go 4 3/4. See how much of a border I'm getting to make sure. We can take off a little bit of the border. probably took off a little too much. Nope, that's perfect. And then we're going to take off about a 1/4 inch on the bottom here. Almost a 1/4 inch on the bottom. Remember, I want to leave as much of the bottom as possible, so I'm taking just a hair off of the top as well. Now let's see how that measures out. If that leaves me with enough of a border. Plenty on the bottom and top. I need a tiny bit more on the side off. This is how I do it with, you know, how I mat up a piece of DSP like this. When you're trying to get as much of it on your card as possible because you love the picture, this is how I do it. All right, I'm still thinking, yeah, that's pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and leave that as the mat, but I do want it to be matted again on copper clay because of the horse. I colored the horse in copper clay. You can see my sleigh is sticking out too. I don't want to cut off a lot of the sleigh, so we want a whole much wider section here so that he's not sticking way out. So let's see how far out I need to go. Probably about there, and that is 5 inches. Let's go with 5 inches. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's gonna look just fine. So 5 inches, and then this is going to be cut like right about there. That's to me looking at about 6 1/4 of an inch, and then that's going to be my base mat for this card. So it's going to end up being a pretty big card too, but look at it. It's going to be so cute, and it's already done. When I colored in the horse, I tried to leave it a little lighter around the spots on his rear end, and then I drew a white pen. I didn't color up to, you know, so I could leave the white on his nose, there, and on his little Clyde. It's like a Clydesdale. Isn't he cute? Now, if you want to know, if you want to find great coloring tips, go to Alyssa Tilsner, Tilsner. She has a blending class that she's doing, and she also has just a lot of tips on a color. She's got a Facebook post that's just, or a page that's called Blends and something. I forget what it is, but if you go check her out, because if you want help with coloring, oh no, try that again. I think she's probably one of the best right now that I'm seeing that's got some great free coloring tips for you. All right, that is fabulous. Yes, my hands were a little wet, but that's okay. It'll calm down. Nothing worse than having sticky fingers when you're trying to stick the paper together. All right, so we did the funambulist. You know what else? When I was looking at funambulist, it said, what is a flighting? It's F-L-Y-T-I-N-G. What is flighting? And I thought, oh, come on. What are these? Where do they get these weird words? Well, I found out, so it has something to do with, it's actually very fun. It's something that you gamer people would already know about, apparently. I'm sure my kids would know what flighting is. And it's something to do with throwing insults at people in a humorous, clever way. It's like, I cannot believe I've never heard of flighting, because it's something that I would think our whole family would already either be engaged in, or they would know about it, and I would have heard about it, virtue of them doing it. I'd never heard of it. But it's something that's super old. It's like old as the hills. It referenced Valhalla and something else. And I thought, okay, that's got to be a game thing, right? Anyway, so the opponent throws out a first line, an insulting first line. And this sounds like something from Monty Python. And then the other opponent has to come back with a quick retort that rhymes. It has to have the same kind of cadence, rhyme, and rhythm. And so that's how you know whether you're clever or not. You know how well you can throw out these rhymes. So apparently it's sort of a thing that's based on, that some rappers probably have based things on. I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of weird. This is weird trivia. I don't know where this trivia page is coming from, but it's definitely giving me some strange, weird trivia. So flighting, never heard of it, but it does remind me of some Monty Python skits that we've seen. All right. And if you don't know what Monty Python is, I feel so sorry for you, but it is definitely not for everyone's taste. It can be very profane, I suppose, in some ways, which is not good, but we don't listen to that stuff. And all of the Monty Python things that I would have available would have been stuff on my VHS tape. That tells you how long ago this was that I was recording it, and edited, heavily edited, because the Monty Python always did skits too, like with the naked organist and whatnot. It was hilarious, but definitely not something you might want to ever see again, and you might not ever, you definitely don't want your kids to see it, right? It's just, it was supposed to be funny. But humor has changed. Have you ever watched an old Milton Berle, like his USO show or something? I mean, seriously, what has happened to humor? Apparently, people just don't have a sense of humor at all anymore. They can't laugh at themselves at all, and it's so strange. I think the best thing that you can teach your child when it sure has helped me, glad my mother taught me, that if you fall down or something stupid, laugh at yourself. Okay, it's hilarious. First of all, you're probably wishing you had a camera on you so you could see it and watch it, because, you know, it's not polite to laugh at somebody else falling down, but you can laugh at yourself falling down, and I guarantee you it's going to look funny. It does for me. I hurt my, oh man, can you believe I bruised a rib, and it's pain, and it was painful. It's better now, but if I couldn't laugh at myself, I'd just be missing out on so much humor, because I do so many stupid things. Before I lost 100 pounds, so this was several years ago now, I was coming out of our, in Richland, our Goodwill store, and it was icy. I didn't know it had iced up, and I slipped and fell so hard. And those poor people that watched me, I'm sure they would like to have laughed, but it was kind of scary for them, because heavy and, you know, icy and all. Man, it was funny. I wish I had seen it. It felt funny. I'm sure it looked funny. Thankfully, I didn't hurt myself at all. I just said, thank you, God, that I did not hurt myself, because that was quite the fall. Okay. So we've got that. We've got our little bunny. He's not going to really fit on here, is he? Maybe. I kind of hate to not use him, because I'm probably not going to do any other cards with this set. I think I'm done with my Christmas cards to a great degree. Other than what I'm going to be showing you, I think I am done. I've got so many of those ornament cards. Man, our friends and relatives who get the ornament cards I hope they like them. I spent a lot of time on them, but even if they don't, I don't even care. I send cards for people to enjoy. I don't feel like they need to keep them, but if you do, wonderful. All right, isn't that cute? But we do need our sentiment. So I'm not sending warmth your way and all that. These are very nice, and I don't want a lot of space. I don't think I want a label on it even. kind of want to just be able to stamp it. And if I'm going to do that, let's do something from this. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Oh, Jingle All the Way. That will be perfect. We're going to do Jingle All the Way. So Holly Jolly Wishes, I think this is a new one from this year. It's definitely one that I wanted because of the Jingle All the Way. Isn't that cute? We're going to put that right in the middle. And Tranquil Tide, I believe. We should probably do Tranquil Tide. Do I have Tranquil Tide? I thought I did, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's not Tranquil Tide, it's Lost Lagoon. That would explain why I couldn't see it. It's Lost Lagoon. I think this is Lost Lagoon. Sheesh, I might have put Tranquil Tide on there. It is not the same. Tranquil Tide is not the same. Okay. Jingle All the Way. Oh, you're so cute. Maybe I do want a label on there. If you do it and you'd think, maybe I do want a label on there, then you can do a label. But I think I'm going to call that good. Now, I will need, to do my base card to attach it to. And this is a pretty big one. I'm going to have to use a whole sheet. So I ended up with 5 inches wide by just a hair over 6, really about 6 and 2/3. 2/3? No. Yeah. 2/3. So let's grab a sheet of cardstock. And we're going to have to go with the 10-inch side and have it going up and down. All right, so we'll score it at 5 inches right here. Now we're going to go a bit bigger just to make sure that I've got plenty of coverage here. Let's see if that's good. Oh, good. That was good. All right, so we can go at 5 inches. So let's cut this. Oops, move my things out of the way. Okay, so now I'm just making the base card. So 5 inches wide and 6 2/3. And I'm going to use my card as my guide rather than measure it. Right there. All right, is that it? Yes, that is it. Perfect. Let me put a bit of glue on it. I'm just wiping on the glue if you wonder what I'm doing. Okay. And stick you on there, and you are... Why is it not long enough? What did I do? Can you believe it? What a ding-dong. I'm going to have to cut another base card because somehow I didn't get it long enough. I don't know what I did. I thought that I had it. Wow. Oh well, I have another base card ready, waiting to go. Pretty large one, in fact. Okay, we'll try that again. 5 inches. This time I'm not going to use the card at all. I'm going to... Okay. Double check 6, and we'll do 6, and it's like a 16th over the 1/4. So 6 And 1/4 would be there, and we're going to go 16th out. Better to make it longer and then have to trim than do what I just did. Have it be too short. I don't want it to be too short. Short is no good. It's got to be big enough. I cannot believe I did that. All right, so now we'll try that again. Stick you on there, and then we'll just trim off the excess at the bottom. Okay. Oh man, I love that though. So cute. Very simple and festive. And you could use it as something other than a Christmas card too. You wouldn't even have to use it as a Christmas card. Oops. My trimming's not so good, is it? This is why you want to size it before you actually do that. All right, so that is our 1-horse open sleigh set that I did today, and I hope you like that. Again, message me if you want to know the dimensions for this little center step card. And again, make a white piece here to write on, and you'll have lots and lots of space to send all of your little newsletter notes about family and friends for the holiday season. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you found that useful. You can subscribe to my newsletter. Follow this page if you want to be notified when I go live. Otherwise, it won't tell you those kinds of things. And I sure appreciate it if you write a comment, even if you're watching this later. I might have missed comments. I'm sorry if I did. I was trying to pay attention, but I really wasn't looking over there. I used to be able to keep it right in front of me on a little, my laptop, just like right on the desk, and Facebook kind of changed things, so I'm not able to see things easily that way anymore. So I apologize, but I will read any comments that you do have. You can always find this on YouTube also. And Pinterest, you can find a lot of my projects on Pinterest. I think that's it. Have a wonderful day and the rest of October. Have a safe Halloween tomorrow. Happy Halloween. Happy birthday to Jenny today. I hope your day is going well. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.